Live talking Project 2025. I got a little bit of an opinion on it. So if you do, please drop a comment. Also, please help me on the algorithm, like, comment, share, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Pleasant good afternoon, one and all. Suzette Speaks Live on your radio. I'm so happy you're here with me. You know, you can join me every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. live. If you're watching on the internet side, I appreciate you. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. All the time, you can listen to Voice of the Caribbean, I Radio. You know that. 94.3 FM in Miami, 102.1 FM in Fort Lauderdale, 102.3 FM North Miami, Hollywood, 99.7 FM Orlando. What's up? Lake Mary, Winter Garden, big up yourselves. And Vero Beach, Port St. Lucie, 105.3 FM. I'm so happy you're here. Suzette Speak Show Live. We're doing a little politics. I'm letting you guys know in July I'll be on vacation. I'm so excited. I will be headed out of town, so you won't hear from me for a couple of days. I will. Someone will be covering for me. Hear that? Starting tomorrow, okay? And I'll be back. One or two shows for the rest of July, but just don't forget me. You can miss me, but don't forget me. So I'll be back full-fledged August. As I said, I want to be interviewing those people who want to gain the public trust and run for office. So if you know of a candidate or anyone who is running for public office, you got to send them my way because I need them on my show, especially right before the primary election coming up on August 20th. So everybody telling you about November 5th, but don't forget August 20th, all right? Also want to tell you that I'm also doing, when I get back from a family reunion and from vacay, I will be heading to my own event coming up July 31st. It is a networking social. You can see it on our platforms on Voice of the Caribbean. It's called Politicking, where I'm bringing industry leaders together. So if you consider yourself a leader and you want to meet other leaders in a professional, relaxed atmosphere, you must come, man. You can find the event on Eventbrite. It's called Politicking, July 31st, 5 to 8 p.m. at Yard House. It's free with RSVP, or a VIP ticket is only $10. So you must come out. And again, we have the leaders like Sunrise Vice Mayor, Commissioner Mark Douglas will be there. Sunrise Commissioner Jacqueline Guzman, Vice Mayor of Tamarack, Maury Wright, and I have a fantastic lineup of co-hosts with me. So it's going to be a big group, probably 100 people or so. Come in and you come relax and enjoy yourself. That's at Yard House, July 31st. So that's some things you will be hearing from me. But I want to get back to today's discussion. Carla, if you want to call me back, this is talking about Project 2025. When you think about Project 2025, it's a real deal issue. I looked on their website, project2025.org, and I encourage you to do the same. Again, President Trump is trying to distance himself from this agenda that's been put forth of what they want, the Republican side want the country to look like and not look like coming up if they were to win in November. But you have to be aware of what this means for you. Stop the gimmicks, stop the little funny business, because I just read online also on Instagram that it is alleged that President Trump's team is trying to encourage and pay certain influencers to get the young people. I just saw it online. There's a lady who does Instagram, and I think she's a model named Whoa Vicky, and she has on a Trump gold chain. I ride around Atlanta, a young lady from Atlanta, and others that have been coming out. Amber Rose, I'm hearing, former I guess you would say love interest for Kanye West, as well as married once to Wiz Khalifa, now divorced. She's also scheduled to speak at the Republican National Convention. So can you imagine? I don't know if this is going to focus on any issues per se that either of these influencers that I mentioned is going to be able to bring to the people. But they might take the thing for gimmicks. They're thinking they can give people the current and what should I say, influencer class to give people of color what they need to do and who they need to vote for. You better please open your eyes and please wake up, and please, when you go look up or Google Project 2025, the presidential transition plan, again, that the Republicans are putting forward. Mr. Trump has said he is not necessarily endorsed this, but you got to be real about this. This is something that is real deal, how they want to remake the government if they are elected. And if you look on project2025.org, it will tell you. It says it's not enough for conservatives to win elections. It is, when you look at it, it says if we are going to rescue the country from the grift This is on project2025.org of the radical left. We need both a governing agenda and the right people in place to carry out this agenda. This is on project2025.org. This is the goal of Project 2025 Presidential Transition Project. The project will build on the four pillars that will collectively pave the way for an effective conservative administration. So they have a personnel database. Basically, they want to get as many conservative-minded people in the higher echelon and the higher rankings of the government as possible. So when that comes to judges, again, we're looking at a president coming up who will be elected in November. Either so far, Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump, and depending on what you feel about that, you have two pretty much shoe-in candidates. It's very rare that they change at this late in the game, even though there's been some questions about Biden's health and fitness. I want to comment that I think he's going on good, because if you look at him at the NATO summit, right, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, he was meeting with the NATO allies and he looked strong there. He's been on several campaign rallies since that very questionable debate performance where he said he had a cold, so-called, that's his words, his administration putting that out, and that he had a bad night. But he's come back even stronger with, like I said, back-to-back campaign events from around the clock, basically, over the last 2 weeks. But people still are talking about the debate. But while you're talking about the debate, I want people to really understand what their choices are when they're voting. So when we're looking at Project 2025, and I encourage you to do your own research, they're talking about the plan for Republicans if Trump is elected. Eliminate, these are in the Project 2025 dash President Trump's transition goals. They have defund the FBI and Homeland Security, use the military to break up domestic protests, mass deportations of immigrants and incarceration in possible camps, ending of birthright citizenship, ban of Muslims from entering the country, eliminating federal agencies like the FDA, that's the Food and Drug, that's supposed to protect us, even though we don't know how much they might protect us because we have such poisonous food, things that are in our food right now that are not healthy and aren't allowed in Europe, for example, or Canada, for example. But they want to get rid of the FDA, the DEA, the NOA. All of these are protections for people, right, that help regulate what companies can do and cannot do when it comes to people. But they want to get rid of those. They want to continue to pack the Supreme Court. Now, again, we look at this election, November, and you will have your first chance at voting in the primary. When is that? Again, August 20th. August 20th will be just around the corner. That's why I'm putting together my gathering, politicking, networking, social, so you can meet the leaders straight up. I want all candidates there because now it's almost time to get to business and start to vote. But again, if you have not registered to vote, there's still time for you to register. Just go to your Supervisor of Elections website. You can go on Miami-Dade Supervisor of Elections, just Google that, or Broward County Supervisor of Elections, or Palm Beach, right, or St. Lucie, or Orange, wherever you're located in our listening audience. Go on your Supervisor of Elections website, and there you can find more information about your status. You can re-register for your vote by mail. Because most people, again, if you have not been actively voting, there was a new law passed that moved people from the active voting list to the inactive list. You might be inactive and you don't even know it. So make sure, go on the Supervisor of Elections website and check it out. Make sure you are eligible, that you are registered, your address is up to date, your signature is up to date, and request that vote by mail, what we call absentee ballot, where you can get your ballot mailed to you by the Supervisor of Election to your house. I like doing it because you can sit down and take your time and read it and you mail it back. Request one on their website. It's very easy to request your vote by mail. So in getting ready to understand why we're voting and who we're voting for, I just wanted to do a quick review of this so-called Project 2025, which again, ending no-fault divorce, complete ban on termination of pregnancy without exceptions, ban on all contraceptions, additional tax breaks for corporations and the 1%, higher taxes for the working class, elimination of unions and worker protections, raising the retirement age, Project 2025, cutting Social Security, Project 2025, cutting Medicare, Ending the Affordable Care Act, ending Obamacare, that is a part of the agenda of the Republicans, what we call in American politics the right. Republicans are known as the right, Democrats are known as the left. Conservative right is looking to put this agenda to work if they are successful in November. That is what we have to understand what Project 2025 is. Now, again, former President Mr. Trump is now saying this is not his platform. He's trying to distance himself, but it's a CMP for them that he was initially associating with that put this together. You can read it for yourself, project2025.org. They've made it public, y'all. It's in our faces. So we can pretend that this is a games election. It's not a game. The future of the United States hangs in the balance for real, for real. And looking at what they are proposing, the eliminating of the Affordable Care Act, getting rid of Obamacare is a part of the Project 2025 goals, right? Miss tell you already, raising prescription drug prices, eliminating the Department of Education. Think about that, getting rid of public schools altogether. What would America look like if there was no public education? You got to think about this. I see you online. Thank you, Lee Soleil says there should be lots of interest to folks out there on this. Of course, because this is what we're voting for. And again, we're coming down to the convention. So here we are. We have two parties. Everybody don't like the fact that we have two parties, but that is the way the American system is currently. We have two parties. We have Republicans, conservative, what we call the right wing. And then we have the left side, right, which is the more liberal side, and the Democrats. And you can call me. Give me your opinion on this if you want to call. No, call 850-446-0562. 850-446-0562. Get you right in touch. Suzette Speak Show Live, talking about Project 2025 today, because our listeners need to know what they're really voting for and what is on the line. So when we look at conventions now, the convention for the Republican is coming up next week, starting Monday. Again, I'm going on vacation. I'm lucky because I will be covering this wall to wall. This is my time of year, right? To cover these things is so important. And whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever you call yourself, it's okay to follow it and watch some of it and see what they're saying. But I would encourage you, if you look up Project 2025 or go to project2025.org, you better wake up to what the country will really look like and what it means to have a Republican in the White House. And no, Mr. Trump have the experience. It's not like he going in green again, y'all. He going in with the people ready on day one to start make the move them, to start set up the thing and move the government in a direction that is much more conservative leaning and much more going to affect me and you. Imagine a country of the United States without a Department of Education and public education as we know it being reversed. Imagine a country where you're not allowed to talk about slavery, where you're not allowed to talk about African American history or gender studies or any of that. Reversing all the government provisions when it comes to minority and women-owned businesses, any type of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, moving that backwards. Imagine a country where you have immigrants, all the people who are here without the proper documentation, rounded up and immediately deported. Imagine bans on Muslim country, birthright citizenship ending, continuing to move the Supreme Court in a more conservative posture. Now, again, as an attorney, I respect the courts. I was brought up to admire and revere the courts. But we have to be real that the next president will have the chance to pick probably, we would say about 2 to 3 more justices. And you see what I'm going now. That of the 9 justices that sit on the Supreme Court, 6 are highly conservative, and most of the rulings are breaking 6-3 in terms of the final vote, and are moving our country in a very, very conservative posture. We just got a ruling from the Supreme Court that told us that any presidential action taken while in office considered to be official presidential duty cannot be prosecuted. So imagine now a person coming into the office with basically a blank check to do what he wants and calls it under official duties. You got to wake up. Like I said, we have the 2 conventions coming up. The Republican convention, where you nominate the president and the vice president officially, the party does that, will be July 15th, starting Monday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A lot of these conventions do take place in the Midwest. About 50,000 people are planning to attend that convention. But of the voting members of the Republican Party, there's about 2,500. Democrats will have something similar, right? So this is coming up starting Monday. They're going to start covering it on the news. And we have to remember, why would they do it in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Well, in 2020, Biden won Wisconsin by 20,000 votes. And no one tell me say voting don't matter. That whole state was determined by 20,000 difference between Trump and Biden. So the Republicans said, you know what, we can win this. We're going to go have our convention there. So Mr. Trump and the Republicans will be in Milwaukee to officially nominate the president. And I guess we'll know by next week who his vice president is going to be, because they're going to have to nominate it at the party convention. Then we will turn to Chicago, not till August. August 19th to 22nd is the Democrats convention, and that will be in Chicago. Several of our people from around South Florida, we had a nomination process within the Democratic Party here. I had a couple friends run, and they got nominated as delegates. So they too will be going as delegates and voting on the floor. You know, when they call out the states, have you ever watched it? Arizona, how many votes do you vote, or who do you vote for? Well, Florida contingent will be in the building. I know several people that's going to be up there from Florida and holding and waving the convention sign on the floor there. You have to remember, Chicago is just 90 miles from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Republicans having it on next week, 15 through 18, and then the Democrats August 19th to 22nd in Chicago. You have to remember, they do it in the Midwest for a reason. Chicago, this will be the 26th time National Party Convention is held in Chicago. Why you think that is? This is the 26th time. It will be right there in the Windy City. I was looking up how many times it's been in different places. Chicago actually was the location for the nomination of Abraham Lincoln, 1860, baby. Oh, I'm going back because I got to understand what's going on now. But at the convention is where they officially nominate the president and the vice president, as well as they adopt an official platform for the party. What do they stand for? No, I'm trying to figure out. Am I looking at Project 2025? Is that the official Republican platform? We have to pay attention. We had the first conventions ever in our history. 1832 was the first Democratic convention. The Republicans first had one in 1856, and since then they've been having it. You can find out more information on the Democratic convention, demconvention.com. And on the Republican side, you can find out more information, GOPconvention2024.com. demconvention.com. That's on the Democrats. What happens? So how it work, on how you get involved. demconvention.com, and then the GOPconvention2024.com for the Republicans. That'll be happening next week. I also want to let you know they're having national conventions, but did you know? Let me shout out my Broward folks. Here in Broward County, there will be a Broward County-wide convention for all Democrats, all voters, all people to learn more about what's going on the side of the Democrats for Broward. And that's coming up on the 19th and 20th of this month, July 19th and 20th. The Broward Democratic Party, led by Mr. Rick Hoy, will be having a Broward County voter convention. Open house is what they're calling it. Come learn. They will have a volunteer fair. All the different organizations around Democrats, the clubs, the caucuses, everybody going to be in the organizational fair. So you can learn. People say them not see no Democrat, them no know what go on. Them are going with things, man. You have to go and learn. So that's the July 19th and July 20th. You can go to Broward Democrats to find out more information. They're going to have, as the guest speaker, I'm excited to see her on the Saturday. It will be at the Marriott in Coral Springs. That will be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I think it actually starts at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, July 20th. That's going to be at the Marriott in Broward County, Marriott Coral Springs. Marriott Coral Springs, free. Wanna come? We can come learn. Walk one and hold to plug in. We have 4 months. So at the Broward County Democratic Convention, it's the same thing. And the special guest speaker, will be none other than Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. You remember when she had to get with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Florida girl that did say, bad bill, what she say? bleach bond, bad bill. I'm not going to finish the rest. We're going to respect the airwaves. bleach blonde. You know who I'm talking about. Who always got to give them a little lesson or two. She's gonna be the Broward County Democrats Convention speaker coming up July 19th and 20th. 19th is the kickoff night. I think there's a reception at Smoky Bones in Plantation and sponsored by, I think, Broward Commissioner Hazel Rogers, among many others. I can't read the list right now, but is sponsoring that. And all day on the Saturday, July 20th. July 20th, that will be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Marriott in Coral Springs, an open house, what they call it a Broward County Convention. They're going to have one in Chicago, but they have a one in Broward County as well for the local people to understand why, one, how they can plug in, what are the different clubs around the county doing, the different caucuses. The Broward Democratic Black Caucus is active. The Shirley Chisholm, the new Democratic Club, the Shirley Chisholm Democratic Club, they can find out about that too. Hold to join, hold to volunteer, make phone calls, send postcards. This is our democracy, folks. Don't make no poll tell you who won and who didn't win. They might right now Biden having a very rough moment, but he still got 4 months to go. And then think I have at this convention. I'm out of time. I can't even go through what would it look like to have a brokered convention if somebody were to be nominated. Now, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think right now we spend a lot of time trying to break down President Biden, even though the record is there. So people may understand you have a choice. Like I said, somebody with Kamala Harrison, Vice President Kamala Harrison, Harris, as well as the team. They're not talking about how inflation gone down as of today. They're not talking about how gas price gone down as of today. They're not talking about unemployment gone down as of today. We're talking about the wrong thing. And of course, we're going to keep listening to the people and see what you guys think. But nobody controls this except the people. The vote is what controls this. So if you're not registered, go ahead and make sure you get registered. Please and thank you. Look on your supervisor of elections website today, please. And thank you. Start to get your people them registered, vote by mail, the absentee ballot, request one now. Make sure you're active. If you request to vote by mail, you are now reactivated on the voters list. Update your address, update your signature, help the elderly, help those in our community who cannot make sure them get them things started. Because remember, every year now you have to request vote by mail. Every year, them change the law. Every year you have to request to vote by mail. So you have to wake up. This is our community. This is our Florida. Don't make nobody tell you we don't belong here. This is our democracy. And we have to make it a priority that we stand up for ourselves. No make nobody come about Project 2025. Oh, what kind of, you think this is Project 2025? I want to wake up and start look up the things and please. And every office from top to bottom, from president, go right down. Start making lists of who you're going to vote for. Because we'll start bring them in from my show, start August. I have to go on vacation, guys. I'll miss you tomorrow and next week. At the end of month 2, I'm going Bermuda. Big up Bermuda. I'm going on a cruise, co-hosting for Beautiful Brown Girls. I'll be out of town for a week. And then I'm going to my family reunion at Atlanta. Big up yourself. We're going to be spending some time with the family up at Atlanta. But my love, I appreciate you again. I won't be here tomorrow. Again, this is going to be kind of vacation, look a spotty this month. But stick and stay. You just know where to find me. You understand? Voice of the Caribbean, I Radio, Thursday, Friday, from 1 to 2 p.m. All right. So any elected officials, go on, try and make the link and get in contact with me because we gotta have some serious discussion for my listeners. Me love me see you when we get back. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you when I get back. It's a wrap, y'all. I get on my soapbox, but I hope you enjoy. As I told you, I'll be out of town. I'm heading into Bermuda, headed to Jersey first by way of Jersey on a cruise with the Beautiful Black Girls organization. And I'm handling on the board by myself, as you can tell, putting on my mic, putting on the commercials. I'm very proud of myself, having grown in this radio game. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I'll be off for a whole week. So I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going to just put up some maybe videos, replay videos and things like this, and maybe some videos from when I'm on the cruise. But I'll be back. And I hope you'll stick and stay. All right. I appreciate you guys. God bless. Thanks for watching. See you soon. And thank you, RM. I appreciate you and all my people's team replay. Hit the like button. See you soon. Thank you.